a bee and still like sing and still pick a guitar. It was just really amazing. Some part of it must have kicked in. But underneath all that was part of the setup. But that was the Anunnaki setup. These are the same people that have been moved into the more mature now New Age movement. These are the ones that became the channels, or their children became the channels. All right. With the Drac end, these are the guys that got moved into the UFO movement. What became the UFO movement here? You know, the ones that are too rational for that spiritual fluffy head stuff. They don't listen to that. They don't want to hear about souls and things. What they want to hear about is, where is that saucer land? You know, where did it go? All right, where are they hiding it? What hangar are they hiding that flying saucer in? Or, let's go out and sit in a field until we freeze our butts off all evening, hoping something comes down to visit. Oh, come on. You know, I mean, I don't mean to pick on people that do this, but you don't have to sit in fields and wait for them, because they're probably not going to come anyway, and if they do, they're not going to be the friendly ones. They'll just pretend. So there's this whole thing that has evolved out of this that took us up, just in our culture, to where we are now. And then you have basic mainstream people who are caught somewhere between the freedom and the constraint of the 50s and 60s, and have tried to like find a little narrow path that became like the 80s, where let's focus on business. Let's like start, you know, toning down our clothes. We don't wear psychedelics anymore. We're too mature for that now. And everybody became like Wall Street. That's where they all became professionals, you know? The Anunnaki had a lot to do with that, actually. The Necromaton more than anybody. This is where they started to get their influence on the scene, where you had your wild and crazy, psychedelic-clad, druggy Anunnaki people. Then you had your very rigid, very afraid of everything, or people from the 50s type mentality. Then there was this interesting blend of the two. It had kind of the freedom and the creativity of the Anunnaki, but it also had the rigidness and the control of the Drac. Perfect blend. And that's where our 80s came in. The cultural wars that have been set here are literally coming out of the agendas that were being run by these fallen angelic groups. Now, once the wormhole was opened, the Phoenix wormhole was opened in 72, it was like, game on, guys. Now, at least you had two balanced forces. Before, the Dracs had too much control. Now it was going to go into power struggle. Okay, in the 1980s, the Zeta Regalians make a deal with a group of the Necromaton Andramis. Now you have Dracs making deals with the Necromaton, where before the Anunnaki, Jehovians, the dove, made deals with parts of the Andrami Necromatons. So now you have the Regalians making deals with other parts of the Necromatons that favor the Dracs rather than the Anunnaki. So it's getting even more interesting. All right, let's see. Okay, so they make something called the Regalian Andrami Alliance was formed around 1982, 1983. That's where you had Falcon and White Eagle and Dragon Alliance, where before you had White Eagle and Dove